today we're going to do something basically simple, an abstract expressionistic painting, which is using primary colors, and it's going to be in acrylics, so they dry fast, and this is going to be a fast painting because there's always a time element involved. So here we go. You always get yourself a good selection of different size brushes. And doing something like this, you'll probably use some big brushes. And there's water is your thinning agent. So as we go along, we keep our brushes clean. That's important. Okay, today we're going to be doing something simple. It is something you can just buy at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, someplace like that. And we're going to do this kind of an organic kind of thing, because though I haven't conceptualized a piece or the painting I want to do, which is, a lot of my stuff is conceptualized. There's planned out things like Christmas cards, but this is going to be seasonal, fall, and so we'll use a lot of those colors. And here we go. Let's get started. It's going to go kind of fast because sometimes you get some good surprises when you move a little faster than you normally might. I'm going to got to get some raw umber in here because that is just a basic color, dark color that you use everywhere. It's kind of funny. It's stopped up for some reason. Let's see if it'll come out. Alright, I got other raw. We'll have to go to another. Yeah. Okay. And a lot of times your colors you will be customizing because you want to get a certain color by mixing colors together. Now we will get started again here. And I was thinking a while ago, the thought comes to you sometimes about, okay, what are you going to do? So I'm going to more or less do this in a progression from light representing day to backside being night. It's going to be a sort of a progression in and about color, about our everyday lives. And it's a lot of fun to just paint like this. Anybody can do it, and everybody has more talent than they realize they have, and just basically doing it, you discover a lot of things, and you grow, and you can grow into doing your own pieces of art and be very delighted. The great thing about paint is that even if it's dried, you can come back over, paint over it again, and change it in no time, flat, and until you get to something you really are pleased with. Get a progression going here from front to back, and we'll see how it does with this idea of progressing from lighter to dark, like maybe a whole day progressing right before you in a matter of minutes. Now, a lot of people will want to get themselves a white base to paint on, and that's good. You can paint gesso, which is a sort of a primer, but a lot of people also use it as their white when they're painting. fun to experiment with these colors, these expressions. And always just kind of, every time you change colors, either change brush or wash it off and start again. And when you do wash, just kind of dab off all the extra water so it won't be causing you problems as you go along and paint. It starts to just become a fun kind of thing as we work with it. And you can always go deep as you want to. You can build your own birdhouse too, if you're so inclined to actually get into woodworking and other crafts. Okay, we're graduating into the darker tones we were talking about a while ago, going back this way. Should be a lot of fun to discover. Okay, I've got into some blue here, which I was going to use that as representing some sky, of course, and you always are going to be using a lot of light, you know, to brighten up all these colors you're dealing with as you're going along. Okay, let's have some blue down there, which it's not exactly a terrible thing, but I didn't really want to do that. I'm going to back some of it off. I'll just take a little wet piece of paper towel or something. You know, I can paint right over it after it dries, but we'll go ahead and fix it before drying time. Okay. You know, and it's always kind of fun to go into a kind of a landscape kind of thing. You know, I was talking about keeping it abstract expressionistic, which is not necessarily copying nature, but of course everything around us is natural that we are exposed to. So you can make it very organic by implying nature, natural things. See, a lot of times I'll just dab 2 or 3 different colors together to get that dark tone without worrying about it so much, because you know, it looks a lot more natural to blend colors as you just work with them, and you can control that. I have to remind myself, okay, fall issue is sort of what we're working with and dealing with. So brighten it back up with some yellows, some ochre colors. We've got some orange and magenta. And I'm trying to keep this front side on the lighter side to experiment with, I love experimenting anyway, to experiment with something refreshing as going from light to dark all in one painting.
It makes it look like a really natural landscape when you do that. That finished side, if you want to tilt it to the camera for me, shows like a really nice, the side you finished looks like a really nice landscape, like a natural landscape with how you layered your colors.
Yeah, it's, and the colors are they're just vibrant and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of fun to work and deal with. Let's see. Yeah, that has a nice effect. It's coming kind of quickly. There are other artworks which I do. It's mostly conceptualizing when a lot of those kind of works takes, not only hours, but they take days and trying to achieve a certain feel or trying to convey a certain message in your artwork, and a lot of artwork is truly like poetry, actually. It's a beautiful thing. Visual poetry, huh? That's some idea.
Mm-hmm.
To keep in mind.
You heard it here first, folks. Visual poetry.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea for a future library project. Maybe. Stay tuned. We like ideas at the library. We like new ideas.
Yeah, it's good to bounce these ideas off one another. You never know when somebody's going to say something and it just kind of resonates with you and rings a bell inside and saying, wow, I might not have thought of that by myself. So it's a beautiful thing to be sharing these kinds of things with others and doing them. And the reward is always wonderful. And the thing with it's like the word synergy. Two people can do so much more than one. So, most artwork is singular. It's like a great thing that you don't necessarily have to have a partner to do it, but when you do projects with partners, you discover so much about them and what you might not have thought about. And so the word synergy is a powerful thing. It implies quadrupling your production, your time. There's a code. It's a little, I might back it off a little bit too, because it's getting a little wild there. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to have one more yellow. I'm always kind of conservative with my paints. Everything costs so much when it comes to art materials, but it's just like, okay, we do more of that, so here we go.
Well, a little bit goes a long way.
It does. You see how far all that's gone already, and we have used a lot of green color and the umber color. And some yellow, so that's what I'm doing is getting more yellow back out here. All right. bigger paintbrush. And this baby. And these are good so you can hang your brush in there.
Fancy.
Yeah, and let it clean itself while you're going on to, say, another brush you want to work with.
See, I just have a cup, and I try to remember which cup is my paint cup so I don't get mixed up with my coffee cup so I don't get a surprise.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would be a surprise.
Mind you, I use like cheap acrylic paint that you can get at Walmart, but that's okay too, because any form of art.
You know, a lot of this acrylic, well, a lot of this is good paint. It comes from Walmart. A lot of it does. You know, Liquitex. So you can easily get it, and they always have those deals there, you know, where you can get.
Most craft stores you can get coupons for where they'll have a 40% off coupon or some type of coupon for your whole purchase. So, you know, there are ways to be frugal.
Oh, yeah. The green that I was using, there it is. Oh, yeah, and it's always good to have a pair of pliers. Paint wants to bind itself to the scalp all the time if you're using that kind of opener. Okay, now. Some of that back there as well, sometimes you get to a place where you say, I like that, and maybe I don't want to mess with it anymore, because if you do, it's you can bet everything that it's going to change it. If you really get to a place that you're really liking what you've got going here, and graduating fluid colors into other colors is always really pleasing to the eye. You can always come back and refine what you're doing. You cut it on your base painting. You usually are painting over a lot of things again because you want to kind of go into that area of blocking, whereas, say, skies are a light color usually always, except at night, of course, and then you know, the landscape, depending on how the lights hit it, those colors can be very vibrant, except when there's maybe a shadow from the sun creating the shadow. So you block in, say, your light areas, like so, and then you come back, you know, with your darker areas that have maybe a mixture of Okay. Alright. Right. This is a color you'll be using a lot of. But these paints do go a long ways. This,
Happy little clouds. Getting some Bob Ross vibes.
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really like it.
And another effect you can do with that kind of paint before it dries, you can come back in with a fresh brush, a soft brush, and do a little softening on, say, the clouds. Take away the intensity, and it has just such a nice effect. Depending on what you really want to go after. Sometimes you just want to tone down the intensity of something, softening that.
I'm going to take that as personal advice. I know I need to tone down my intensity, but not really. Just kidding.
Yeah, you know, intensity is it's pretty awesome. And it's like I think of passion. When you throw yourself into something and get really kind of intense with it, you can be so delighted with yourself for doing that.
Yeah.
To start with.
See, I just get one track minded.
Yeah.
But that's not when I really, really get focused on something. I get very like one track minded and intense and passionate about it, of course.
Yeah, passion is so awesome. Be passionate about your work and what you're doing. You know, that is such a blessing, and to actually feel that way about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I think, might not be too passionate about, say, their job or such, but it's always well advised to try and find something.
I guess life advice, folks, is find something you're passionate about.
Right. Yeah. Pursue it.
Learn some painting.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to sew. That's my PSA. Learn paint, learn to sew, get creative. Get creative.
That's right.
That's our PSA.
Open up to the creativity
Creative.
that's just flowing through you all over the place. Comes from, it usually comes from a higher place, the creative. And it's, this thing of being talented is a wonderful thing. And if you're gifted on top of that, then you really have every reason in the world to be overjoyed in life. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Of course, I'm getting kind of stuck on there with refining, so I'm gonna try to move on here.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're almost on the home stretch.
Yeah. So here we go.
I mean, it's not like the one thing with paint, from my understanding, is like you can always come back to it later.
That's right. Yeah, and you probably will.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, well, I'm just about done with this. So
No.
I'll get back on it. And then you start working back on, I really want to tweak this and that, and you end up spending most of your time doing that kind of stuff.
Hours later.
It's a great thing. Okay, come on. Some heavy duty color. Gray. Gray's always kind of heavy duty. And of course, you say, well, I'm not crazy about the way that gray's turning out, so it's a good idea sometime. Okay, I'm gonna take some other color and mix with it, and maybe try to blend some colors that would look a little more pleasing. The main thing is, just do it to please what you're after.
I think that's one of my creative mottos is make you happy first.
Yeah.
Make yourself happy first. If you're trying to be creative, you can't, just that's it. Make you happy first. Get creative.
That's right. It is a very personal thing. And it really needs to be that way because, you've been given sort of the drive to do something and the more you work at it, sometimes if everything doesn't come together, it's like what you needed to make it a little more so will come.
Everything is a learning experience too. So if you make a mistake or it's not quite how you wanted it to, remember those things for next time you paint something, and then you can do it better.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
I think the roof and that back, and then I think we're good.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
We're coming along really good.
Yeah, of course now, if you're not careful, you get into, okay, I'm going to do foliage here. All right, yeah. So, back up into the heels here. Come in some of this kind of color. And see if we can brighten it up a little bit. Without spending a extreme amount of time doing it. And blend, colors into colors. And the main thing, is just have fun at it too. Oh yeah, and get some of that magenta color. That's always. Yeah, now that's really wild and extreme, but you kind of have to tone it down. Maybe with orange, yellow. Alright, here we go. We're going on into this night scene around the back here. We call it night, leaving.
Oh, is that like a Prussian blue? It's very similar to a Prussian blue. If you've seen the Lee Laney video.
Cerulean? Yeah.
Oh, that's cerulean blue. I really like Prussian blue. If you saw the video we did with Lee Laney, you would know that already. It'll be on the library trivia. Not really.
But that's subject to change anyway. But this, for a night sky, I guess that's not bad. Yeah. All right, and then okay, here we go.
So you're gonna do the roof like half night and half daytime?
Yeah, I think we will blend it right into each other. Half light and half shadows. If I can get to it, I'm on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Trying to get this where I'll be. Yeah, that's
It
not
looks
bad.
really good.
Got some light is hitting the top of. Look at the sun trees there. Okay, trying to get to the top. Here we go. All right, moving on. Yeah, I like that. afternoon. Here we go. Today. Tuesday afternoon. Twilight zone back there. Always love that song, Tuesday afternoon. Moody Blues.
I was thinking you were making a reference. It was somewhat flying over my head. I'm not a huge blues person.
Yeah.
Or jazz. I think I'm just weird about music. I'm very picky in general.
You know, they did this great album, Days of Future Past, which it's like covers a whole day. And singing the whole
That's
album.
neat.
Yeah, it's great. What's so great is all this down here is dry, so you can kind of start handling it. You know? It just dries so fast. You have to work with this stuff fast anyway. So it takes some getting used to. I really love all because it gives me a lot more time. It dries really slowly. It takes days and days. And you can go back and just jump back in wet water and start swimming again, so to speak, working your art. Yeah, but acrylic certainly has its pluses.
Okay, that's really satisfying just to see like that little bit of blue, and then he created so much depth with the colors right there. So satisfying.
Blend into one darker night sky kind of feel.
That's so cool.
It's a nice effect.
That about does it.
Yeah.
Give her a little turn so the audience can see all the different sides. I like how the front turned out. You can see those fall colors a little bit. It's been a lot of fun spending time with you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, Julian. We look forward for more in the future. And thank you so much, everybody. Bye.